Hello, hello. It's been a while since I last did a carrier commentary, and I figured I'd make another low tier one now. Since the last one I did was the T4, the Hosho. I've now, it's taken me a long time, I know, but that's because I don't really play my alt account that much. I'm still a beautiful pink on this alt account, or probably a fresh new pink. I'm not entirely certain what I've done, but clearly I've been team killing someone. So I'm a beautiful pink on this guy. And of course I have a Bogue on my team, and the Bogue, as you can see up north, he's full strike spec, and I'm against a Zuiho and a Bogue. And as you can probably guess, the enemy Bogue is naturally AS spec, so I'm literally with one fighter against, well, two full Bogue fighters plus this fighter squad here, so not an easy time. Okay, that first of all I tried to quickly strafe the Zuiho torpedoes, see if I could catch them by surprise, but he was aware of it. I engaged his fighters since he was about to engage mine anyways. There was no way of avoiding it. And well, he has the exactly same setup that I do, meaning one fighter, two torpedo bombers, one bomber. So of course I gauge his fighter, and now I know I have freedom to drop pretty freely. I'm hoping to be able to catch this DD by surprise, but that was just too close. Just too close. I could have probably afforded to drop further away because for some reason he slowed down so incredibly much. But of course I couldn't have predicted he would slow down to a complete stop like that. Drop a quick manual drop on him. Was it the manual? Might have been even an auto drop. Just for the sake of getting some damage in and helping my Clemson, because as you can see my Clemson is being absolutely ass blasted here. He's gliding forward again. I can't be certain if he's stopping or not, so I just drop where I usually would if he went full speed. Clearly he was somehow stopping, but at least I got one torp on him, and hopefully if my team understands the focus, the Nicholas at least will even it up, one DD kill for both, because the DD on my team died. That's kind of, you have to, as a carrier you really want to make sure you keep it even. In cases like that, if they kill one of your DDs, you need to make sure you kill one of their DDs as well. Nice, okay, one of their DDs died, that's good, we still got an even footing, so to say. It would have been especially bad if the DD hadn't died, because now my Ziaslav can hopefully push into the cap and cap it, if he understands to do that, which is unlikely. Of course, up in the north, I don't really expect much to come from that fight up in the north. The Bogues are basically fighting each other at this point, and well, one Bogue is AS spec, the other is strike, so obviously the AS spec should be dominating the skies up there, so I expect that whole battle to go completely pear-shaped up there. I can't really afford to send my lone fighter to help him, since I'm basically busy with this Zuiho and helping my team push through and capture the sea part. Instead of trying to help up north, which I already suspect is completely lost because they are down ships and there's the Bogue that is going to be completely wrecked and so forth, I'm instead going to focus on winning my part of the map. But sometimes you just have to make the decision, like one part of the map is just going to be lost, it's that simple, and I've already abandoned it. You can see, I can already looking at the minimap in the north, I can already see his bombers being intercepted by the Bogue fighters and probably shot down, so of course I pulled back my torpedo bombers when I saw his fighters come to engage, sending in my fighters now at the same time as I send my torpedo bombers. I straight up just engage the enemy fighters because I don't want him interrupting my drop, because meanwhile I'm gonna be dropping both the Congo and the Koenig possibly. At least we'll start with the Congo. Good, 2 hits, flooding. I don't know if he can even repair it. He's not repairing it. Okay, that's good, so he's guaranteed dead. Should I help with this? Nah, you see this torpedo's going for this. No point going for this drop. Sometimes I see carriers go for these really useless drops that there's absolutely no point going for, just for the sake of stealing a kill. Like in this case I could have dropped him and gotten a kill, but really stealing kills when you can be so much more useful for your team. I see a lot of carriers go for that really dumb stuff where they just try to steal a kill off, and usually you end up losing the game because instead of dropping something else, like for example this full HP Koenig that's fighting my Kaiser, I would have wasted my drop on that garbage. And I got 2 hits, flooding, probably forced his repair. Yeah, he instantly repaired, so I forced his repair, so now some fires and stuff is really gonna wreck that Koenig. Gonna see if I could set some fires here, since I have still my bomber. I wait until his repair should be over. Should be over by now. Let's go for a manual drop. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, I got pretty lucky with honestly 2 fires, I only expected 1. But those 2 fires he obviously cannot repair because he used his repair on my flooding, so he is burning to death now. The Koenig is clearly trying to ram my Kaiser. As you can see, I hope my Kaiser is paying attention to that and doesn't allow him to ram, because that Koenig is guaranteed dead. I managed to strafe down the bombers trying to set my ship, or trying to bomb my Kaiser. Nice, the Kaiser died to, or the Koenig died to secondaries. Of course he would have died to my fires probably regardless. Sorry about that, almost knocked over my glass. And another important thing you should probably pay attention to on the minimap as well is here. You can see I'm constantly moving with my team. I'm very, very close to my team. I'm like 5 kilometers behind my team at all times, and I've moved with them the entire time. First of all, by keeping my team between me and the enemy, there is no chance of me being dropped that easily. There's no chance of me being ambushed that easily, because my team is so close by. Second of all is of course that there's such a short way for me to fly my planes back and forth. It's a very short distance. I literally just have to fly them to the other side of the cap, and I can already strike someone. So the short resupply is of course a huge advantage. It looks like Bogue up north ran out of planes, by the way, so the fighter Bogue is now down here. You can see one of his fighters is down here at sea patrolling. So as expected, my Bogue turned out to be utterly useless in the north, so I'm basically 1 versus 2 against both carriers at this point. And you can notice the difference between our carrier plane. The Bogue stayed up north. You see he's grounded himself, trying to hide back there in the corner. He has a hugely long supply route. He's basically completely isolated, and he's probably going to get killed by some Russian DD or something soon, whereas I've been moving with my team the entire time. In fact, I'm moving pretty much on par with my battleships. Here I managed to surprise this fighter. Maybe he wasn't expecting someone to be engaging him, but I managed to get a strafe off. So instead of being 4 versus 6 fighters, which is basically a fight I would lose, I managed to make it 4 versus 3, which is perfectly winnable. So obviously I instantly engage him, so he can't distract my torpedo bombers, which I now send in to deal with this Furitaka. Engaging enemy fighters is fine as long as you got the upper hand, or it's going to be even, but just avoid doing it if it looks like you might lose your fighters, especially at low tiers. You can't really afford to lose too many fighters, because if you lose your fighters, then you are going to be extremely screwed, because having no air control at all is really brutal at this low tiers when the maps are so small that it's not really that easy to avoid enemy fighters in general. Okay, I managed to kill off the Furitaka. Our Bogue is obviously without planes, without anything, just sitting there completely useless. I pulled back my torpedo bombers and my bombers because enemy Bogue fighter showed up. As it's his second fighter, he noticed he lost one, so he sent the other one to support. So I just pulled them all the way back. There's no point trying to send them past and lose some planes in the process. I see people try to do this. I'm not in a hurry. Yes, they have a lead. Yes, they're getting 2 caps and so forth, but there's so much time. There's 11 minutes and there's so many more points until they win. There's literally no reason to throw away planes just to try to get some panic drop, or try to get at least a few planes through his basically Bogue fighters. There's no point in doing that. So I'm just going to play passively and fairly safe. I keep pushing with my team naturally. I don't know where the enemy DD is. I don't know where all the enemy ships are, but I know that if I stay with my team at all times, then I'm probably fairly safe, and I'm in a good position to support them both from enemy carrier strikes and against enemy fighters in general. Again, I managed to catch this Bogue fighters off guard, managed to strafe down 5 of them, and the enemy Zuiho was a bit unlucky in sending his torque planes right in there, so I managed to eat one of them as well. Now I'm 4 versus 1 against that one fighter, so that's a fight I will easily win. So you can see that just by paying better attention to the minimap than the enemy carriers are, I'm able to consistently catch them off guard, which is what I'm doing here. I strafed down the bombers as well, who went for my Koenig. Gotta make sure I don't send my own torpedo planes into my strafe, because you can strafe your own planes. Got clear sky there as well. Okay, I'm tempted to drop this Isokaze, but I'm hoping that this Koenig will just kill him. I mean, he's so close to the Koenig. He's like 3.5 kilometers away. I'm hoping Koenig will just shoot him down. I missed my drop. I could drop him and kill him now, I think, but the Koenig should kill him, right? I mean, we have planes behind him, we have Kaiser behind him, and a Koenig here and Kaiser behind, so that guy should be dead. Should absolutely be dead. But the Izukaze, I'm already starting to regret this now. I have no. Why are they not shooting the Izukaze, the biggest threat they have right now? The Koenig shot something else, and now the Koenig got killed. The Koenig shot the cars through instead, and now the Koenig got killed by the Izukaze. Good lord. I'm gonna see if I can just maybe get a manual drop on him and finish him off. Nope, dropped a bit too far back. That's unfortunate. But for like, really? What are they? I'm honestly asking both this Kaiser and this Koenig what the hell they're doing. Like, what could possibly be more important to shoot at that they're only torpedo DD, the biggest threat to our battleships in the entire game? That's a bit frustrating, especially since I could have killed him, but I expected them to have the common sense to just shoot one volley and delete him. Because he's pulling back his fighters, so I'm assuming he hasn't noticed my fighters. I'm gonna see if I can ambush him with a strafe again. Okay, I managed that one moved around, which is a bit unfortunate. I'm gonna engage him anyway, because I don't think he has too many fighters left. This is an even 4 versus 4 fight, which is generally not something I would recommend. But at this point I just want to engage his stuff, because my Iziaslav is over there killing off the Bogue. So just keeping him occupied while the Iziaslav hunts down the Bogue is perfectly fine with me. That's a trade I'm more than willing to go for. Now I'm gonna go finish off the Kaiser and hopefully also find this Izukaze that for some reason both my battleship let get away. I have no idea why they let them get away, but they did. Okay, more than likely this Izukaze will expect me to drop the Kaiser, so I'm gonna try to surprise him by dropping him instead. I'm not going for the cross drop, just a simple manual drop from the side, close enough that he hopefully won't have time to react. Managed to catch him, that's good. That's the Izukaze dealt with, and of course my Iziaslav managed to deal with their carrier. You might notice my positioning once again, by the way. I'm keeping all my friendly fleet between me and the opponent at all times, so that there's literally no chance of anything surprising me or catching me off guard, and there's no way he can engage me without basically pushing through my entire team on the way. And that way I'm constantly moving with my team, constantly keep an eye out my team positioning and thus my own positioning. Kaiser, a battleship, there he is to drop. A manual drop from the side, he has no chance of dodging, it's 2 torps, that's the kill. Gonna push into B with following my Kaiser, they only have their carrier left now. Iziaslav is going for A, that's good, Kaiser is going for B. It looks like we're about to turn this game around into our victory. Yeah, they're saying good job, but honestly, this could have been a significantly easier game if they understood to focus the Izukaze. Because this low tier DDs are actually quite hard to drop if they know what they're doing, if they always turn into the torps, because these low tier DDs, they're quite fast, they turn very well, and they are very small. So this is in combination with planes that aren't really that fast yet. Your planes are quite slow compared to like high tier planes. So in general I feel like dropping DDs just gets easier and easier the higher you get, with the exception being of course when they get defensive AA on US ones, but in general it just gets easier. Whereas on low tier it's surprisingly challenging in comparison. Of course, then again, I didn't go for any cross drops because I was arrogant enough to think that I could just get away with a simple side drop on each of them, and obviously that didn't work out too well. But hey, you live, you learn. I got 12 torpedo hits, that's fairly decent anyway. Only 4 bomb hits though, and I've ran out of bomb squads, but that's okay. When it comes to priority of losing, your bomb squad is probably your least important. You mostly use your bomb squad for setting fires after they have repaired your flooding. It's usually the last squad to come in, and that's why it's also quite prone to being lost, because the enemy team has the most time to react to those bombers. Managed to find Zuiho. My team kept pinging that he would be somewhere in their base, but I suspected he would be in the left corner, so I sent my fighter up there to scout and found him up in the top left corner. Gonna go see if I can go finish him off. Keeping him in vision. They've only now have they managed to even the score. That's how long we were on the back foot in this game. Heading up north. My beautiful pink plains. I find it kind of funny that they chose team killing color to be pink. I just find that hilarious. He's turning into my planes, but I adjust for that possibility. He's so slow that he has a hard time dodging too many torps. He's probably gonna hit 2, I think. It's quite hard to hit more than 2 if he's actively dodging, unless you manage to drop at the same time. So in this case, if my other torpedo plane would have been here, I would have dropped on the other side, but I wanted him to repair that. You can see that his health is no longer ticking down, which means he's repaired it. So I waited out the repair, and now I drop him again. Provided I get another flooding now, he's gonna die from the flooding, and there's absolutely nothing he can do about it. That's a way to stack basically dots, just using torpedo squads and not having bombers start fire. You can see now his HP is ticking down steadily because I caused another flooding, and there's nothing he can do to repair it. I got a devastating strike from it because it counts as part of the original drop, and we managed to win the game. A nice chunk of credits from this game. 39 planes shot down, which considering I only have 1 fighter squad with 4 planes, I think is quite respectable, and managed to carry the team to victory in our Zuiho. My enemy Bogue is, oh god, at the very bottom of, or my friendly Bogue is at the very bottom, of course, because he tried to go with the strike spec against the fighter Bogue, which had no success. You are a team killer. Thank you very much for that game. But credits and XP wise, you can see how little repair costs I have to pay because I'm a carrier, so this is a very good source of income. Right, as usual, I will start with the modules. Seeing as these hull upgrades don't actually offer you any more hangar capacity, meaning additional spare planes, there's no reason to go for them. Instead, just upgrade your flight control module so that you replace 1 bomber squad with a torpedo squad instead. The torpedo squad is by far the best one, deals the most damage, and is by far the most useful. Upgrade your torpedo bombers next, your fighters after that, and then you can get the B hull. Personally, I don't even get the C hull. I see no point in getting it because it gives you very little AA and a small amount of maneuverability, aka rudder shift, which you really don't need. So I'm just skipping it entirely. I just unlocked that with XP because you need it to unlock the next one. Get the premium repair. It's a 22k investment that reduces your repair by 30 seconds. Very much worth it. Air grips modification. Might as well make your fighters as good as possible. Flight control mod, there's no point going for the fighter buff, aka air grips mod 2, because you only have 1 fighter. Rather get the flight control that buffs both the fighters and all the other planes at the same time. Or well, buffs how quick you get them into the air. Finally, damage control to reduce fires. Captain perks wise, basics of survivability, reduce that fire chance once again, or well, fire duration. Torpedo armament, faster servicing of torpedo bombers, torpedo acceleration, make your torpedoes significantly faster, the minus 20% range doesn't impact you at all, and of course I'm saving up for aircraft servicing expert, and once I have aircraft servicing I will naturally get air supremacy, which is of course the 15 point requirement skill. Anyway, that was my Zuiho commentary. I hope you guys enjoyed it.